Trading options on the Robinhood app. Is it really possible to take from the rich and give to the poor? I don't know, but it's possible to trade options on the app, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're logged into the Robinhood app. We've already covered how this app works from a stock trading standpoint. So if you haven't watched that video, we'll put a link somewhere around here and you can click that link either after this video, or it'll be a link in the description so you can go back and watch the other video of where we talk about how to use this as a stock trading app. But now we're talking about how to use it as an option trading app. So I'm going to click and open it up. Use my Face ID to unlock the app, and boom, voila, we are inside the app. By the way, don't forget, no matter which video you're watching, if you sign up to try out Robinhood using my link in the description, you'll get a free share of stock and I'll get a free share of stock. Now, back to how to use this for trading options. Once we come in, let's just use Facebook as an example. We're going to click on the Facebook ticker symbol. It's going to bring up our chart, all of our normal stuff. Now, if we already know that we want to trade options on this, we're going to hit the trade button, and this time we're going to have the option to trade options. Now, before we move forward, you need to be approved to trade options. They're going to ask you some questions like, are you here for growth? Or do you trade or invest for safety and security? They're going to ask you questions like, what's your net worth? What is your experience with trading options? How often do you trade options? If your answer is, I've never traded options, I'm here for safety and security, I think it's going to ask, how do you fund your investment account? Do you use your money from your job? If you lost all your money, would it devastate you? If you say yes, it would devastate me, and I don't know what I would do, but I would lose my money, and I've never traded options before, you most likely won't get approved to trade options, okay? So just throwing that out there. Now, once I hit the trade options button, it's going to pull up the options screen. So if you're approved for options, you have the screen. If you don't, at least you'll know what it looks like. Now, what I like about the platform, what I do like is if you're brand new to trading options, or maybe you're not brand new, but you're not a pro at it, it's going to make it really simple for you by saying, what do you think the stock's going to do? And so you can see the first arrow says, I think the stock's going to go up. So it really tries to guide you through as a new trader, or maybe a less experienced options trader. It's going to really try to walk you through in baby steps and make it really plain Jane. So if you think it's going to go up, it's going to say, hey, perhaps you should buy a call. And you're like, Jason Brown, what is a call? Well, glad you asked. You can hit the learn more button right there. And what it'll do is it'll pull up what is a call, why would you buy a call, how do I make money from buying a call, what are the risks, how risky is each call. It's going to walk you through all of that. The next tab is going to say choosing a call. How do you pick which call option to buy? What's your break-even price? What's the strike price? Expiration date? All of that good stuff. How do I monitor my call? What happens after I buy it? So walking you through all that. How does the option affect my portfolio value? Where can I monitor it? What's the difference between selling and exercising? What happens if the stock price goes past my break even before expiration? It's going to walk you through all of that. And then last but not least, what happens to your call at expiration? Yes, because options do expire. They have a time frame where if the stock is not at a certain price, you're either going to make money, lose money, or hopefully break even. All right. So it's going to walk you through what happens when your stock is near or above the strike price. Now, if you haven't noticed, there's like a whole book in here on how stock options work. Now, I'm not a fan of recommending people reading books or long paragraphs about how stock options work. So we also have a video that'll show you and break down how options work. So feel free to click that. You can watch it right here on YouTube, okay? But it is here for you so you can read through it, get familiar with the terms, learn a little bit about how it works. Next, if you think a stock is going to go down, it's going to talk to you about buying put options, baby. That's right. That's how we make money on stocks falling. So it's going to walk you through put options. It's also going to give you a couple examples of potential trades that you can do. And here's what I like about this. When you click on one of the examples, I will give them 2 thumbs up for this. When you click on one of the examples, it's going to give you a graph. So it's going to show you, where's Facebook at right now? 194. Where do I lose the most of my money? You lose your money in between those red zones. And then where do you break even? You break even where it says break even, right? And then if the price of the stock is below that, which is 189.45, that's where you start to make money. And the stock would have to be below that between now and the expiration date. So I really like that they give you a visual of the example, whether you're buying a put, and let me go back to if it's going up, click on one of those, or whether you're buying a call option. It's going to walk you through a visual example, kind of put all the numbers together for you. And then it's going to show you if you think the stock is going to go up and down, or you're not sure, basically, they're going to show you some advanced option strategies like, oh, you can do a straddle, you can do a strangle. It's going to talk you through the risk. And again, if you click on it, it's going to give you that risk reward profile and break even. Last but not least, if you think the stock is going to go sideways, that's why that little squiggly line is going sideways. If you think it's going to go sideways, it's going to tell you, hey, maybe you want to do an iron condor, which is a little birdie with wings. But in the stock market, that means like buying 2 to 4 options to construct an advanced option strategy, okay? So it's going to walk you through an iron condor. Again, it's going to give you your break even, your maximum gain, your maximum loss. And I'll be real honest, if you don't know how to trade options, you might be like, what the heck is an iron condor? All right. That's typically an advanced option strategy, but at least it tries to break it down to you as best as it can inside the app. Now, if you're already familiar with options, let's just say you want to go straight to a certain expiration date. So let's just say we want to go to May 17th. We already know that we want to buy a call option. Now, here's where I feel like the app maybe have dropped the ball a little bit. The first thing you'll notice is it's not very easy to tell if you're buying an in the money option or an out of the money option. So for example, Facebook's trading at 194. So an option cheaper than 194 would be an in the money option. But at first glance, everything looks green and you may think that everything is in the money. Also, if I scroll up, you'll see that I only see the $200 strike prices. And so you may still think that these options are in the money when they're really not. So it could be a little bit more easier or simpler to understand if you're in the money or out of the money. The second thing is when you click on an option here, notice they don't give you that beautiful little graph anymore to show what your break even is going to be, what your loss is, and where your max profit is at. I wish they did that throughout the entire app and not just on the options that they suggest to you on the home screen. All right. Now, let's go with, let's just say we go with the 180 strike price call option. One thing that the apps does that's pretty cool is it lets you know that an option controls 100 shares. So if I wanted to buy one contract, it would control 100 shares. And so that's how they come up with the price. If that option contract is $15.55, well, you times it by 100 and then you get your max cost, which is $1,555. If I hit review, if I don't have enough money, it's going to say, hey, do you want to deposit some funds? Or you can say, just kidding, I was just playing. But here's another thing that I wish would be before you place your trade versus after. If you go up to the top right corner, you now have the ability to pull up some of the more intricate details of the option, such as the bid and ask price to see if you can go in the middle and get a better price. You can also see the volume, more importantly, the open interest, how many are open and outstanding contracts that are out there. So you can determine if you can get in easy or out easily of the trade. So is there liquidity? Also, your implied volatility, your chance of profit. And then below that, you're going to see your Greek. So you got your delta, your gamma, your theta, your vega, your rho, which is stuff that we go over inside of the Options Explained course. But it's all here for you to look at. I just think they should have put that before this screen right here, because right now you're ready to place your trade and you don't know all those details and if it's actually a good trade for you. You're just kind of going in blind. So you can place option trades with the app. I think it does everything that you need to at least get started. You just need to know where to look for the information. And some of it, you may have to look for it even after you get to the screen where you're possibly about to make the actual trade. But it's pretty decent for an option trading app. I think one other thing that we're missing from the app is the ability to see what exchanges that the trade could possibly be routed through, because every broker doesn't have access to all the exchanges. So let's just say the Robinhood app only has access to 2 exchanges, like the Philadelphia Stock Exchange and the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. Well, there's other options exchanges out there. And so if they only have access to maybe 2 of the 5, then your orders can only get routed through those 2. So maybe there's a better price available on the other exchanges, but Robinhood may not have access to those other exchanges, hence why it may be a commission-free app. They pay for maybe 2 of the top exchanges, but you don't have access to some of the smaller exchanges. So those are some things to kind of think about when you're using the app for trading options. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Feel free to check the link below in the description. Again, if you want to sign up and test out the app, we have the ability to get you a free stock, and I would get a free stock by you signing up just to try out the app. And then also we have a video about how to use this as a stock trading app. If you didn't see that one, again, remember to go back, check that out. And then also, if you want to check out our option trading video, we'll put a link here on the page, and we'll walk you through how we trade options over at Power Trades University. I'll see you on the next video.